A man is a product of his thoughts, and he becomes what he thinks. That's what I believe I have done. This sort of partisan that is recognizing in the name of the caste or the religion, say, the caste, I think there have been some quota system going on in India still, what I have been given to understand. This prevents many talented people to pursue the studies. I think India should consider setting only this economic status for the people to continue the further education, not the caste. Unfortunately, it's still going on. Many people are being denied the good chance of coming up in the life because they belong to the forward community. There have been many accusations against the non-Indian residents in some quarters that they had deserted India for their own personal benefits. There's always a cry of brain drain. I have explained the causes for migration of the people out of this country. I have moved out because the opportunity was denied. There are cases where people have moved out since no opportunities could be found to suit their professional, technical, and academic qualifications. Now, I would like to take the opportunity to congratulate the Government of India, led by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, for having come forward to recognize the talents available in India. And this move will definitely go a long way in strengthening and retaining the intellectual capacity in India. Be the change what you'd like to see, in the words of, as quoted by Mahatma ji. Unfortunately, the people making accusations of the NRIs, they don't understand the benefits being flowed back into India through this NRI community. The brain drain is overcompensated by the cash gain for India. The NRI community is responsible for lots of investments within India, which has given job opportunities to crores of Indian resident community and millions of dollars of remittance in India by way of foreign exchange. In a simple economic language, those remittances have been helping India to meet the foreign exchange commitments and as well as to strengthen the balance of payment situation. We, the people from NRI, have reached the heights with whatever we do in our countries, step by step. We have not just climbed the heights in just like that as a miracle. We worked hard for that. I'm a chartered accountant in practice for the past 33 years and developed my business from the scratch. And today, my total number of clientele is standing at 500 plus. I am likely to be awarded the Hindenburg title in the afternoon, for which I thank the NRI Society for having selected me for this, and I would like to dedicate this award to my family, my children who always stood, my wife and children who always stood behind me in the times of good and bad, and also to the people officials who recognized me and respected me and put me in a high esteem. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ramani. My function in this country as the Constitutional Authority is to hold election whenever it was required. If I hold the proceedings longer, I may have to hold election between lunch and between speeches. So I'll have a lunch break after one more speaker, Dr. Anil Mandal. 4 minutes, please.
Thank you very much. As the chairman said, the time matter, time is short. That's the essence of my life. The time, we do more than we talk. So to that effect, I'm very pleased to be here to give the talk called Diabetes and the Society. Honorable Mr. Deepak Singh and members of the organization of NRI, thank you very much for permitting me to present this speech on diabetes and the society in this auspicious event. We are all non-resident Indian, but we are assembled here today to celebrate our heritage and culture as well as share our views and successes. As a medical doctor, my mission is to improve diabetes health care. My intent is to develop a program for the salutary treatment of diabetes with one goal, to prevent horrible complications, thus permitting people with diabetes to live a meaningful life. This program, under the auspices of Mandel Diabetes Research Foundation, is working in the USA. Thus, my plan is to set up a program in India in the memory of Harbhajan Singh, to be called the Harbhajan Diabetes Foundation of India, which would operate in collaboration with Mandel Diabetes Research Foundation of the USA. To that effect, I had long discussion prior to coming here in India, and yesterday long hours with Mr. Deepak Singh, how we can develop the Harbhajan Diabetes Foundation of India along with Mandel Diabetes Research Foundation of the India. We have come up with some plan. To that effect, I have invited Mr. Deepak Singh to come to St. Augustine, Florida, USA, where I live, to look at my setup so that he can develop a software of the entire system in the USA to be working in New Delhi, somewhere that he will define where we can work in New Delhi. Having given that background, I want to give you a little bits and pieces of diabetes. Diabetes was recognized in 1500 BC by Egyptians, who found that the people go to the bathroom too many times and become sick. So that was the idea. Then this idea remained completely hidden until 1915, when the Canadian researcher began to work in the dog by removal of pancreas, and ultimately they found the extract from the pancreas, and Frederick Benting treated a 15-year-old girl with called insulin. He discovered in 1922, who was emaciated, weighing only 45 pounds and very sick. By giving that insulin, that the girl increased her body weight, began to eat well, and gained her weight from 35 pounds to 134 pounds in a period of 6 months. And she described that she never felt well in her life as she is. And Frederick Benting of University of Toronto, Canada, was awarded Nobel Prize on September 15, 1925 for discovery of insulin. Given the discovery of insulin efficacy for treating diabetes, unfortunately, this is very important, and that's what I am here for today. Unfortunately, therapy for diabetes has taken a different turn. The turn is for the worse, has been made possible by the influence of commercialism on our medical practice. Commercialism seems to prevail in diabetes care more than any other illness in medical practice. Diabetes is a poor man's disease. Poverty in society plays an important role in the response of the professional to direct care of patient with diabetes. Thus often, a diabetes patient has no job, no health insurance, and no family income. Not unique in India, but unique even in USA. About 80% of diabetes death, I must give you some idea about in India. Death occur in low and middle income countries. Recent surveys indicate that diabetes affecting 10 to 16% of the urban population and 5 to 8% of rural population in India and Sri Lanka. The difference between urban and rural population in incidence of diabetes may be attributable to availability of food in urban country. In urban country, people have more money, they can eat. So even given a mild diabetes or potential diabetes can get aggravated by eating more than what they should. On the other hand, in a rural population, foods are not abundant, so the incidence of diabetes lower in rural than in urban population. Ultimately, diagnosis, inadequate treatment of diabetes harbinger for the tragic and completely avoidable consequences of uncontrolled diabetes, including recurrent infection, limb amputation, blindness, and kidney disease, which many times lead to dialysis, the costless therapy of all diabetic complications. For instance, dialysis costs $50 billion US in the United States alone annually, and $360 billion worldwide annually. Why all these expenses, which is completely preventable? My diabetic patient don't go to dialysis. Why other doctor diabetes patient going to dialysis? There must be some reason. That's what I'm trying to work. What are the causes that lead to dialysis, and whether we can reduce the dialysis and save the healthcare cost and use it for the preventive treatment. Mr. Gurinder Singh has informed me about timing, so I am shortening. Journal article reporting reduction of microalbuminuria by the use of angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor drug has changed the pendulum of diabetes therapy from glycemic control to proteinuria control. Needless to say, some professionals don't know that proteinuria is a result of uncontrolled diabetes, so you reduce the glucose by giving insulin, then you reduce the glucose filtration through the kidney, therefore you reduce the proteinuria. But it's not happening. So why not we resort to treatment of diabetes with insulin, what Frederick Banting did in 1922? But this is not happening because there is no kickback in insulin. Oral anti-diabetic agent that the pharmaceutical coming out with one drug after another every day, and there is an enormous amount of kickback to the professional, to the societies. The best statistics come from the United States renal data system. India has small statistics available, and I have already mentioned that how much it costing the healthcare system. So the steps has to be taken appropriately, which Gurinder Singh and myself are going to start here, that the steps, this is very important, this step. It will be serious mistake to put a level of type 2 diabetes on anyone with elevated glucose. Number 2, take time to check medicine. Hypertension or high blood pressure much more prevalent than diabetes. And most of the hypertensive drugs, beta blocker, calcium channel blocker, diuretic, increase glucose, and they are put a level of type 2 diabetes and prescribe metformin. That is causing greatest danger to the life of mild diabetes, giving rise to severe diabetes. You order basic metabolic panel, we call basic metabolic panel. It's a composite of glucose, kidney function test, and electrolyte in the fasting state, and 2 hours after lunch. In India, lunch is a major meal. In the United States, breakfast, Americans eat big breakfast. So you can have a big meal and repeat after 2 hours. If the glucose level is high in the fasting, but normal after eating, less than 200, preferably less than 160, you do not have diabetes. Only thing that need to follow. So my plan, one of the plan, is to do glucose tolerance test in many Indians that we will be seeing, hopefully. I always use the word hope, because hope makes things possible. So we're hoping do glucose tolerance test randomly on many people to demonstrate who really has diabetes and who does not, and avoid unnecessarily prescribing medicine. Remember, anybody with established diabetes has a high risk of developing complication if not treated with insulin. Lastly, take insulin injection by syringes, not by pen, which is a commercialism. Finally, I hope that the diabetes work as proposed at the beginning of my talk, once again, Harbhajan Diabetes Foundation of India, along with Mandel Diabetes Research Foundation of the USA, right here in Delhi. And this effort, myself and Deepak Singh, hope keep the flag of India high. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mandal. Before we break for lunch, we are happy to issue a NRI welfare certificate, certificate of appointment to Dr. Sunil Kanti Roy. I'll announce. As he has been appointed as president of the UK chapter for a period of 3 years, up to 11th January 2018. Welcome. Wish you all good luck. Let us break for lunch, please. We'll have continuation of the session after 40 minutes.